All right, here we go again. Buckle up. So when I say we're going to have to heal suicide, don't listen to them, quote unquote. I'm not telling you to heal suicide from me. I'm not telling you that I feel suicidal. I'm telling you I see suicide. And that means your children are susceptible to committing suicide and that we should heal them. Yeah, heal. Everybody say those same words. It doesn't mean you back Israel. Don't listen to them. Or whatever it is you want to do to heal that. It's a metaphysical, even if you see physical and psychological things. I'm gonna try to put together this furniture here. It was all. They did a smart thing, like where the flaps. They didn't package it for shit. This thing is not packaged for shit. It has nothing but a box wrapped around it, and it cut some corners. But they put the flat part in the back, so when it tore open a little bit, it only scuffed up the back side, the bottom side. So it looks pretty good. So that's one of my projects to get this forward. All right, so the court security guards, just wanted to let you know, they weren't like security guards because they'll get in your head, oh, security guards. They're probably, majority of them have done at least 20 years in law enforcement. Or some, like we had a colonel, he was actually a Maryland State Police colonel. I think he passed on right towards the end when I was born for service. They got years of experience. That's why it works so well, you know. I mean, people, generally, you have some trouble, but it's a self sustaining force. Bunch of cops with 20, 30 years in. You just have to, like, every once in a while, you gotta like roll on something when you're running. Because I used to be the coordinator for it. But that's just generally like, I'm not. And that's all they want, really. You give court security officers their way, and the boss the way, and the respect, they'll handle it. We had a couple of people that, they were deep state. Of course, I didn't know anything about deep state, but looking back, I realized they were deep state. What is that instruction manual that it's heck won't work? Yeah, at this point, I was against initially forcing immediate ID. That everybody, the way to do it, I said, was to get everybody's ID issuance system up to snuff so that, they couldn't, because even if you pass it, they might, pull a court case out. But again, at this point, we definitely need ID when we vote, especially with all the people that just came in the last go around. Well, again, at this point, if a state hasn't done that, and somehow there's a disenfranchised group of people, this will force that, and we'll get everybody their IDs. So as far as women not having ID, I don't know about that one. I don't know what they were saying or something like that. Well, I think not most women, but stay-at-home women have the advantage over men. All day to go get their ID. Let's figure out how this works. It's just weird the way it's a slot versus a hole. It should have been a hole. Well, because now you have to like try to align it where it would have aligned itself. One end and the other end. Let's see if I can do this. Push it in. But again, the idea is we know that Democratic Party states, and again, it's unfortunate that we have to say Democratic Party again, but all that fraud going on, you actually have to pass the law. And this is what I told you last time. You can't wait. You have to pass a law and get all the changes prior to the election. Because the judge isn't going to let you change the rules afterwards. With all that fraud in the Democratic Party states, there's got to be something going on. Now, was it enough to change the 2020 election? Probably not, but, well, because there's Republican corruption too. It isn't just going to stop them, but Democratic Party people probably, above all, will lose votes in something that requires ID. But there are some around because it's actually probably easier to defraud the system from rural areas and semi-rural areas than it is the city. You might have more players in the city that are more apt to do it to a certain degree, but when you're out there in the rural and the semi-rural, it's desolate, not as many cameras. I'm sure they do. Tight. So I mean, we can't wait forever. The Democrats were definitely not working. Let's get everybody the IDs and stuff system, trying to push it. So, and had their years. And Republicans say, look, we started this 4 or 5 years ago. They should have, moved in that direction. And again, the real ID. I mean, everybody knows the real ID is big. I mean, the government's through Democratic Party presidents even working it. So, I mean, if it's that important to have a real ID, it's probably important to have that at election time. And again, with this many people from other nations here, we don't want them messing our count, holding our count. Don't tell me they're honest. And it's not only Somalis. Somalis are just a little bit bolder than their Unos. Very bold, actually. So you did have the screws for the top. I purchased the top of the desk separate from the frame because I couldn't get a good deal. I probably saved like $50 doing it that way. But they did bring the screw. Put the screws in there because the company for the top of it is the same as the company for the frame. Pretty good desk, 63 by 24. No, I'm just gonna figure if I did that, I might be able to get forward on a couple things. Sometimes you have to spend money to do these broadcasts and podcasts. I don't buy as many microphones as I used to, and these transmitter receiver set I had. That works pretty good. So it is what it is. Kind of wish I was in this kind of situation. And years ago, I probably wouldn't have had all the issues I had. Well, it was immigrants paying that we had and caught their jobs. Taking the money I'm paying. Dirty Marshall. I don't care, man. They're all narcissists and sociopaths. I mean, remember, a narcissist is going to look the opposite of a narcissist and the opposite of a sociopath. That's what the whole thing is. And then yet they pick their victims to say that's the sociopath, that's the narcissist. The FBI was full of narcissists. I don't know if it still is, but definitely was. That was a problem. I mean, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Probably shouldn't have. And yet, we are partly responsible for Jonathan Lynn's death. So let's just push G into A. And then what? What the heck? How does that come in? It's like it's missing a step. Like you go from the first one, which is to screw these brackets that the uprights go into on the top, backside of the top, and then you go to the next one, and miraculously, without instruction, the actual uprights are oh no, they're just laying there. Okay, then you set them. Okay, so I take the uprights and lay them. Oh, so get that sized. Okay, and now I get it. So everything is metaphysical, even if there are physical components and psychological components. You eventually die because the things that hate you and curse you outpace the things that love you and heal you. That's really true. We all die from being cursed. We're actually born on the planet from being cursed. So we're cursed and then we're born here and then we live a life where we die. Once you're born here, it's like, darn it! How did this happen? No, it's really a sub-existence here. A very low existence. Probably the lowest. A lot of people look at things like a dumb animal and go, oh, a dumb animal lives like 2 years and dies. Well, what do you think about it? They live here 2 years, don't even know they're dying, they die and they're gone. We get tortured. You die! So again, it's, people really don't understand what's going on on this planet. And God woke me up to tell me what was going on. But of course, you don't want to know, that's fine. You have to explain to God why you're restricted that information. No, it's definitely not about me. Here are these big leggy things. Motor. It's heavy. Let's see how actually go on the inside. I looked in the inside. I actually like this better than the one I bought. Got a smaller one of these. My Surface Pro came up missing. I'm like, it was one of those deals. I stuck it somewhere so I wouldn't lose it. It would be safe. No, I don't remember where it is. Probably in a cabinet somewhere. And so, have to lay that like that. Put it down. So. Here. This one here. Looking good. So yeah, some things really aren't too bad. I can't remember what, I guess desks were under, but they weren't that quality. There's electric desks you can buy now. I swear it's a deflation, not an inflation. Because the desks weren't this I didn't buy this quality desk. I could get them under $100. And now it's just a little bit over. Right. It's a little bit bigger too. So I don't think that the desk world is more expensive. And they have like electric desks now, and you raise up and down the height. I don't see inflation there. May actually be deflation a little bit. So again, remember, heal things like suicide because it's a metaphysical. You can get psychological help and it can help. I'm not telling you not to go to a physical or psychological doctor. What I am telling you is metaphysical, so heal it. So you find the right doctor and the doctor can see what they need to do to heal you. So you're not routed to the wrong doctor and then you have a more serious issue happen. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.